A man with a mustache is panting in a dark, rocky landscape, fear spreading across his face. In front of him stands a towering figure, surrounded by dark energy. Yeah, we've seen this guy before. He's the Frost Monarch from the last episode of Season 2. He came here for something called the Fragments of Brilliant Light. He thought the mustache man was one of them, but he's not. At that moment, Yogumunt, the Monarch of Transfiguration, arrives. Yogumunt informs the Frost Monarch about the ruler's plan in the east. Interestingly, that region turns out to be Jinwoo's own territory, South Korea. Yogumunt says he'll head there himself, where the rulers are preparing to release someone named Legia. We haven't heard about the rulers or Legia until now. Maybe he'll appear in the upcoming story. Then Yogumunt shares some intriguing news about what the Frost Monarch has been searching for. One of the fragments of brilliant light has been confirmed to be in that land. The Frost Monarch, excited by the news, accepts the opportunity. But then he suddenly grows serious, sensing they've been lured to this place by someone they once knew. As they speak, a mysterious man appears and asks what they are talking about. They don't see him as any kind of threat and prepare to leave. Suddenly, the mysterious man attacks them with daggers. The Frost Monarch blocks the strike with an ice wall, and their clash causes a massive explosion. The scene shifts to a red gate in South Korea. Inside the red gate, the dungeon boss confronts Jin Wu for killing his minions. Despite his anger, the boss is impressed by Jin Wu's strength and his ability to speak their language. Still, he warns that Jin Wu has gone far enough. Jin Wu stands calmly in the rainy forest, surrounded by monsters. At that moment, the dungeon boss gives the command to his hidden army, ordering them to attack. In response, Jin Wu summons his shadow soldiers. They charge into battle, tearing through the monsters in a chaotic fight. After watching the one-sided slaughter, the dungeon boss, unable to hold back his rage, charges forward, but before he can even react, Beru slashes off his hand and Igris slices through his leg. The boss crashes to his knees, then Tusk crushes the boss into the ground using magic. Jin Wu approaches the defeated dungeon boss and tries to interrogate him, but gets no answers. He suspects the system is interfering once again. Then, Jin Wu opens his inventory and pulls out a glowing black key, the same key he got from a cursed random loot box long ago. Back then, he hadn't met its requirements, but after reaching level 100 during the Jeju Island raid, he finally qualifies to use it. According to the key's description, the location of the gate to the Cartenon Temple, also known as the Double Dungeon, will only be revealed after 417 hours. It's the place where everything began. Back then, Jin Wu was weak and completely powerless. But things are different now. He's grown incredibly strong. With quiet determination, he looks ahead and says, "Just you wait, I'll be coming for you." Meanwhile, back in Seoul, Yoo Jin-ho sits in front of his screen, trying to counter the online trolling aimed at Jinwoo. After a few sharp responses, he takes one down, but there are still more to go. Then, Jinwoo appears out of nowhere. Jin-ho is shocked by his sudden arrival. Without saying much, Jinwoo hands him a bag filled with premium magic stones. Jin-ho's eyes light up with surprise. He realizes these stones are worth a fortune, more than enough to fund their new guild. Jin-ho then reminds Jinwoo that they still need a third member to officially form the guild, and more importantly, what are they going to name it? He tosses out a few ideas, but Jinwoo has other plans. He wants to call it the Solo Player Guild because, well, he solos everything. The suggestion catches Jinho completely off guard. Before he can argue, there's a knock at the door. When Jinho opens it, he finds none other than Cha Hae-In standing there. Without hesitation, Cha announces her desire to join their guild. Jinwoo feels suspicious. He asks whether Chairman Go sent her or if she was expelled from the Hunters Guild, but Cha denies both, even revealing that she broke her previous contract and paid the penalty fee. During their conversation, Jinwoo casually refers to Solo Player Guild as the official name, which surprises both Cha and Jinho, especially Jinho. Throughout the conversation, Jinwoo asks lots of questions, but Cha remains mostly quiet. With that, Jinwoo's suspicions only grow stronger, but in truth, her reasons for coming have nothing to do with guild politics. Her mind flashes back to the first time she saw Jinwoo. Something about him was different. He didn't carry the typical hunter smell. That small detail sparked her curiosity, and ever since, she's quietly kept an eye on him, trying to learn more about him. And then, during the Jeju Island raid, she could have died facing the Ant King, but Jinwoo had stepped in and saved her. That experience, along with her fear of dying and the complicated emotions swirling inside her, led to something deeper. She doesn't fully understand it, and she's too shy to admit it, but she wants to stay close to Jinwoo, so she lies, saying she just wants a comfortable life. After hearing that, Jinwoo and Jinho assume her previous guild simply overworked her. Still skeptical, Jinwoo decides to test her. He tells her that in order to join the guild, she'll have to defeat one of his summoned beasts. Jinho is surprised by the challenge, but Jinwoo sends him downstairs to grab drinks and snacks for Cha. Cha is momentarily thrown by the surprise test, but only for a moment. She quickly regains her composure and asks Jinwoo which summon he plans to use. Jinwoo announces that it'll be his strongest beast. Cha Cha accepts the challenge without hesitation or fear, and with that, they move forward to make the test official. Cha asks when her test will happen, and without hesitation, Jinwoo decides to hold it right away, and he suggests the Hunters Association Gymnasium as the place, but then realizes it's kind of far. That's when he considers trying out his shadow exchange skill to teleport them both. Jinwoo tells her to stay close, gently pulls her in, and activates shadow exchange. Dark shadows rise around them, and just like that, they vanish. Meanwhile, Jinho walks in carrying a tray of snacks, but when he looks up, he freezes. Instead of Jinwoo or Cha, a huge red orc shadow soldier stands there. The orc casually grabs the tray and eats everything in one bite. Poor Jinho just stands there, stunned. At the same time, Jinwoo and Cha appear inside the gymnasium. Cha is clearly stunned by the sudden change in location. Jinwoo confirms that shadow exchange works like a gate. Using this skill, he can even travel with others to wherever his shadow soldiers are. Cha, still a little off balance, admits she forgot her weapon. Jinwoo teases her about her old pickaxe, earning a slight smile. She heads over to the gym's storage room and grabs a regular longsword. Jinwoo then summons Igris, introducing him as his best swordsman. He explains that the fight will only end if Cha either destroys Igris or surrenders. Originally, Jinwoo had considered having her fight Beru, but in the end, he decides that might be a bit too much for her, so he chooses Igris instead. Jinwoo hands him the Demon King's longsword, and just like that, the fight begins. Igris wastes no time. He starts by unleashing an energy blast from his sword, but Cha reacts fast, dodging it and going straight on the offensive. The clash of blades sends shockwaves across the gym. Back at the Hunters Association office, Go Gun-hee feels the building shake. Curious, he checks the gym's camera feed and sees the two of them. It immediately reminds him of Cha's strange behavior after the Jeju Island raid, especially the way she reacted to Jinwoo. With a knowing expression, he tells the staff to shut off the cameras. He understands that this moment is personal. Back in the gym, the battle ends with Cha slamming Igris into the wall. She doesn't even take a moment to celebrate. Instead, she turns to Jinwoo and demands to face his strongest summon. She reveals that she already knows about Beru. Jinwoo is caught off guard but clearly impressed. After a brief pause, he agrees and summons Beru. Jinwoo glances at Cha one more time and calmly asks if she's really sure about this. The room goes silent. Beru is born to kill hunters, and now he waits for orders like a loyal weapon. Before the fight starts, Jinwoo instructs him to defeat Cha, but not to hurt her. The command is simple, yet crucial. When the fight begins, Beru roars like a wild beast, and the sound is so fierce it shatters the ceiling lights. Seeing Beru's power leaves Cha speechless. Beru draws his claws, but Jinwoo immediately warns him to retract them to ensure her safety. Beru obeys with wide, almost puppy-like eyes. Seeing an opening, Cha charges forward, but in an instant Beru vanishes and reappears behind her, just like he did during the Jeju Island raid. Back then, she had no time to react. But this time, she's ready. She whirls around and slashes with her sword, only for Beru to casually catch the blade between his fingers like it's nothing. Bound by Jinwoo's command not to injure her, Beru decides instead to break her spirit with sheer, overwhelming power. Watching from the sidelines, Jinwoo assumes the match is over and asks if she's satisfied, but Cha refuses to stop. Jinwoo, disappointed by her stubbornness. Despite clearly seeing the vast difference in their power, she still chooses to fight. Beru begins to lose patience. Ignoring Jinwoo's orders, he slashes at Cha with his claws. She narrowly dodges and activates her sword dance skill, unleashing a rapid series of golden slashes, but even that doesn't work. Her sword shatters like glass. Knowing she has one last option, Cha uses her ultimate move, Sword of Light. Her mana reserves are almost empty, and she knows she can only use it once. Drawing every last ounce of power, she fires a massive beam of golden light that pierces through Beru. After being hit by her attack, something stirs inside Beru's mind. An old instinct resurfaces, the voice from when he was the Ant King. It screams inside his mind, annihilate the enemy. His eyes ignite, glowing blood red with killing intent. Despite Jinwoo's command, Beru prepares to kill her with deadly intent. His claw nearly reaches her, but Jinwoo steps in just in time. He catches one of Beru's claws with his bare hand and pins the other underfoot, stopping the attack inches from her. Beru staggers back and drops to his knees. He reverts to his meek, loyal self, lowering his head and begging for forgiveness. Jinwoo turns to Cha and asks why she's risking so much for a mere guild test. When she doesn't answer, he looks at her with confusion and asks, "Perhaps, are you interested in me?" The question catches her completely off guard. After a long pause, she softly admits that she is interested in him.